Guys, Crypto with Danny, what's the crack? This is where we teach you how to retire early. You don't have to give up work if you like work. We'll have the option. We're going to talk about Europe's Bitcoin ban. What you really need to know. What's it mean? Because a lot of people, I got a few messages yesterday. Bit of panic, bit of fear, bit of FOMO. So basically what was going down is Europe are voting on should they allow proof of work mining to continue or should they ban it? Because in their eyes it's not energy efficient. Now, what does all that mean? Guys, if you're jumping on, you know the deal here. Daily exercise. Alright? Your health is your wealth. Start with the finger health. Stretch it out and press the button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, throw a comment in, let me know what you're doing. Let me know if you're panicking yesterday. Let me know if there was tears, if they're going to ban proof of work mining. But I'll just explain to you what it means and what you need to know. Okay? Because if you're going to be a Bitcoin investor and a crypto investor, you need a little bit of experience, and you need a little bit of, you need a bit of a thicker skin than to be influenced by FUD, fear, uncertainty and doubt. So if Europe bans proof of work mining, what does that mean for Bitcoin? Comments below. Europe banned proof of work mining, what's that mean for Bitcoin? Bitcoin's banned in Europe, what does that mean for Bitcoin? It means absolutely nothing for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's an open, permissionless protocol. So it means nothing to it. Alright, and that's the first principles thinking of what does it mean for Bitcoin. Zero, nothing, nada, makes no difference to Bitcoin whatsoever. Okay? That's the first thing to know. Alright? In the short term, what might happen is, because a lot of retail people hold Bitcoin and digital assets pounding the grindstone here. Go on, James. Whacking out those likes. But because a lot of retail people own Bitcoin, and this market, jeez, I'm sweating now. This market is influenced by market makers, and the news of crypto is heavily manipulated with market makers to get retail people who are plebs, like me, I'm a pleb, but to make me sell my crypto, to make me buy high and sell low. That's the job of the market makers. That's the job of crypto media. That's the job of the news. So I'll just give you my investment. Hold on, I'm going to avoid this learner. I'll just give you my investment thesis on why it's not going to work out. Why would Europe ban it? Okay, Europe basically are going to do what America are going to do. Alright? And the whole world more or less does what America does. Now, that being said, if Europe ban Bitcoin, okay, and America get behind it, like it looks like they are, okay, with all the actions with launching a futures-based ETF, what does that mean? That means pensions own Bitcoin, okay? That means people in America's pensions have Bitcoin exposure. Would the SEC allow that if they were going to ban it? No, because they're getting behind it, lads. Okay? But let's say Europe go the other way, and Europe decide there's a load of old men and they can't figure out digital value, and they're only thinking for themselves, and they're influenced by bankers, and they decide, no, we're going to ban Bitcoin. What does that mean for Bitcoin? Nothing. What does that mean for the crypto market? Well, nothing really, because the majority of the world's wealth sits in the US, it sits in the dollar. The dollar is the most dominant currency. So what America do is what's important, not what Europe do, not what China does, not what some South American country does. What America do is what matters most. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, throw a comment in if this makes sense and you're learning. By the way, I better say, none of this financial advice, alright? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a Bitcoin and digital asset consultant. That's what I was doing this morning. I was helping someone build a portfolio so that they can retire early. And we built a lovely portfolio. And they will be retiring early. But that's what I do. But guys, it's not financial advice, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a Bitcoiner. I advise financial advisors all the time. But just be aware of that fact. I sort of have to say that. So, think in Europe's terms. At the moment, Okay, a lot of people in Europe own digital assets. Therefore, a lot of people in Europe have to pay tax when they sell those digital assets. And they will have made a lot of money on those digital assets, so they will owe a lot of tax. Now, most governments are broke. Okay, a government's a company. Most people don't understand this. Okay, but a government's like a company, but it's a really badly run company. Because they squander money and waste money. If it was a private company, they'd have gone out of business. But they put laws in place so that you must pay them. Alright, but a government essentially is a company. And all these companies are broke. Okay, they're insolvent. Alright, and some of them have the ability to print their own money, which helps them sort of push out the Ponzi scheme. Okay, but when a company can get capital, has the choice to we can earn all the tax off all the crypto, or we can just ban it, and then all the crypto leaves our country. Because remember, this is borderless. These are borderless assets. Okay, so digital assets can leave to more friendlier jurisdictions. You can't put the capital controls on digital assets that you can put on physical assets. Okay, so when a government is faced with the choice of should we ban it or should we tax it, should we send the money offshore or should we get the money ourselves? They operate, as we all do, out of self-interest. Okay, so given the option, it would seem insane for a government to want to ban it and push all the capital out of our country and not capture all the tax. Wouldn't you think? I do. You know, I just go with what's rational. How does this rationally work out? I don't need to look at clickbait newspaper headlines that are designed to get me to sell my crypto, to buy high and sell low. I just look rationally at the situation. Okay, so my thesis: Europe do what America does. America seem to be getting behind. Like, Bitcoin works on proof of work, and we have all these other cryptos that are proof of stake and other means of consensus. But the only way that you can get, like, Bitcoin is the soundest money that the world will ever get until a better technology is invented, probably 5,000 years time. Okay, but that can only happen because of proof of work. It can't happen on proof of stake. Proof of stake, it's pushed out to retail people who don't understand consensus or crypto or haven't done the homework, and they think, oh yeah, well, proof of stake is easy and cheap, it must be better, I'll do that instead. I'll buy this shitcoin that's proof of stake, because Bitcoin's inefficient and Bitcoin takes loads of energy and Bitcoin's on proof of work, and that's old technology. But they're not getting the fact that proof of work is the technology. Proof of work is what allows a decentralized, permissionless, open monetary policy that's immutable. Immutable means it can't be changed, and it's a fixed money supply. So proof of work is essential. Okay, proof of work is the value. All right, and so don't be misled with like thinking, oh yeah, well, proof of stake uses less energy, I need proof of stake. Proof of stake is what you have. That's what central banking is. It's proof of stake. Those with the largest stakeholders make the rules. Those with the largest stake make the rules. And it's impossible for a pleb to ever become a large stakeholder. Impossible. Because the whole rewards, the protocol, how the thing is structured, is that those who have the most money make the rules and get the biggest rewards. So therefore it's impossible for people who already aren't in the top 1% of the 1% to break in. But proof of work is very, very different. Okay? Proof of work is totally different. It's proof of work. How I explain it, now I'm meandering a little bit here, okay, but I'll get back to the point in a second. I'm into my fitness, I've broken my back, a lot of you guys know that. And remember, if you like these videos and you're learning, hit the share button. Because Irish people need to learn about Bitcoin. We're so far behind, guys. I've been all over the world. Conferences and seminars and all sorts of stuff. We're being left behind, and we're going to suffer because of it, because our talking heads are so ignorant. Alright, so it's our duty as Bitcoiners. If you've figured this out and you've done the work, it's your duty to go and share this with your friends, family, whatever. But it's a Bitcoiner's duty to teach other people, because you get screwed in that other system and you work your whole life and you die of sweet feck all. It shouldn't be like that. Okay, but this is how I explain it. Proof of work. I've broken my back, alright, so I'm into health, I'm into fitness. Proof of work is me deciding to take responsibility for my actions, for what food I put in my body, okay, and go to the gym, and go lift some weights. I'm not going to jog or run, because that just wears out my joints. and it makes my insulin go high, so it makes me hungrier, and it reduces my lean mass. Now I'm talking technical physiology, but don't get lost. But basically, that's proof of work. I can do the feckin' work, lads, alright? There's another way to look like you're healthy and look like you're fit, alright? It's like a shortcut. I can pop a few steroids. I don't have to do half as much work, alright? I can drop a few chemicals into my body and I'll get the effect, the same effect. Like, for all intents and purposes, Jesus, both those guys look pretty fit. One guy's done the work. He's improved his health. Okay, he's put in the hours. The other guy popped a few steroids. They both look the same. The outcome is similar, but they're not the same. One person has extended their life. One person has reduced their life. Steroids usage will reduce your lifespan. That's guaranteed. It's scientific. You take steroids, you're not going to live as long. Okay? So very different. And that's how I sort of use the analogy to conceptualize proof of stake and proof of work. Proof of work and proof of stake are very, very different. And although they can achieve similar outcomes, it's how they're achieving their outcome, and the collateral effects. Okay, the collateral effects from achieving the outcome. So proof of work is necessary. Bitcoin needs to be on proof of work, and that's not going to change. Sound money runs on proof of work. That's how it will work. So what I would say to you is, as a crypto investor, your job is to educate yourself. Okay, in the short term, who knows what will happen. As I teach in my workshops, when I'm consulting with people in the workshops, in the webinars, and in the one-to-one, in the short term, there'll be noise, there'll be volatility, people will make the wrong decisions, you know, and all it's going to mean for you as an investor is an opportunity to dollar cost average, to build your position, to get cheaper Satoshis. So as I was consulting with my client today, we were chatting about it. I was like, market corrections, FUD, countries making bad decisions is good for me, because my job is, I think in Bitcoin, I think in Satoshis. I'm not thinking in shitcoin. Shitcoin is euro, shitcoin is dollar. Okay, if they were cryptocurrencies, we'd call them shitcoins. Why? Because they go down in value over time. It's just that we've been conditioned to think of them as this amazing money, but in reality they're terrible money. So I'm thinking I want to accumulate Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is sound money, alright? And sound money is adopted from the bottoms up. And a sound money, once a sounder money comes about, that's sounder than we currently have, it will always be adopted. If you study the histories of money, it doesn't matter what government says you can use it, what government says you can't use it. If humanity is offered a sounder monetary solution than what they currently use, it's a bottom-up approach. It gets adopted. It's happened through the Stone Age with kings and what do you call them, dictators and governments. It's just when a sounder option comes about, it's a bottoms-up approach. So my job as a crypto investor is to accumulate Bitcoin, to stack those Satoshis, and if I can get them cheaper, that's a gift to me. That's an opportunity. That's not something to be crying about. That's not a bad thing. And you as an investor, you have to transition your thinking to start thinking like this, okay? That when there's blood on the streets, you're a buyer. Even more so. And if really you want sophistication, just use dollar cost average strategy, or use a hybrid approach of both. Anyway, I won't get into the investing strategies and everything now. I just said I'd jump on and talk a little bit about Europe, and inevitably it was dismissed. They voted not to ban proof of work. Well done, Europe. Some of you guys have half a clue of what's going on, but regardless of what they voted, wouldn't have affected my investment strategy and wouldn't have affected my investment thesis. Okay, guys, hope you have a great day. Remember, if you want help learning, get into my free Bitcoin Basics workshop. If you need help with one-on-one consulting, or you want to build a retirement plan, you want to retire early, you want help retiring early, jump into my webinars, jump into my workshops, jump into my consulting. Check it all out on cryptowithdinny.com, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you stay in tune with the lives. Guys, have a super day. Dinny out.